Raphael. I am good. I sat here for reading book. Would you like to read? Just wait, I am coming.
Which book you are reading?
I am reading Steve Jobs' Journey. Would you like to listen Journey of Steve Jobs?
Of course, why not?
Listen. Stephen Paul Jobs was born on February 24, 1955 in San Francisco, California. His unwed biological parents, Joanne Shevel and Abdul Fattah Dali, put him up for adoption. Steve was adopted by Paul and Clara Jobs, a lower middle-class couple, who moved to the suburban city of Mountain View a couple of years later. 5 years later, when Steve Jobs reached college age, he told his parents he wanted to enroll in Reed College, an expensive liberal arts college up in Oregon. Even though the tuition fees were astronomical for the poor couple, they had promised their son's biological parents he would get a college education, so they relented. Steve spent only 1 semester at Reed, then dropped out, as he was more interested in Eastern philosophy, fruitarian diets, and LSD than in the classes he took. He moved to a hippie commune in Oregon, where his main activity was cultivating apples.
This is very interesting journey.
They were the real pioneers of personal computing, a collection of radio jammers, computer professionals, and enlightened amateurs who gathered to show off their latest prowess in building their own personal computer or writing software. The club started to gain popularity after the Altair 8800 personal computer kit came out in 1975. The following months were spent assembling boards of Apple I computers in the Jobs' garage, and selling them to independent computer dealers in the area. However, Wozniak had started work on a much better computer, the Apple II, an expandable, much more powerful system that supported color graphics. Jobs and Wozniak knew deep down it could be hugely successful, and therefore Jobs started to seek venture capital. On January 24, 1984, after Apple had run a very memorable TV commercial for the Super Bowl 1984, Steve Jobs introduced Macintosh at the company's annual shareholders meeting. The product was launched in great fanfare, and for the first few months, it was very successful. For the first 5 years of Pixar, Steve Jobs set a goal for the company to sell high-end computer graphics workstations for institutions, such as hospitals or even the army. The animations group led by John Lasseter was very small at the time. But in 1995, after Microsoft had released Windows 95, which was a pale but working copy of the Mac OS, sales of Macintosh computers started plummeting. A new CEO, Gil Amelio, arrived in early 1996 to save the company. He cut costs, got rid of a third of the workforce, and decided that instead of writing a new, modern operating system from scratch to compete with Windows, it was better for Apple to acquire one. Eventually, Amelio chose to buy NextStep, Next's operating system, and Steve Jobs convinced him to buy the whole company, for a whopping $400 million. He struggled very much. He did hard work, that's why he became a founder of Apple Company.
Amazing story.
Okay, bye, I am getting late.
Bye.
Please subscribe channel.